Please watch this video all the way through, guys. When I was almost $100,000 in credit card debt, this video would have changed my life. And the reason why I say this is because the things that I'm about to talk about in this board behind me are actually what changed my life. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna specifically dig into the exact reasons why I believe you need 3 income streams, not 7, not 10, not 15. Well, obviously as many as you could get would be the best thing to have, but why you need at least 3. You're gonna wanna find out why I believe that. But before that, I wanna dig into why this person right here is a dangerous person to be, why that's the case. I wanna talk about how wealth is created, the 4 things I see pretty much every single person I know that's uber wealthy or has the lifestyle that everyone watching this would wanna have. I wanna talk about this line and why this line, when you fundamentally understand what I wrote there on that board, will change your life forever and help you start building wealth and getting outside the trap that you put yourself in. Dig into the one thing right here that I talked about before, which is why you need 3 income streams. And then the last part, guys, I wanna give you guys a special message. I want to kind of talk about why what you're going through right now is not a curse or punishment, but could be a massive blessing for you, because when I lost everything and I started over, I would not have the life I have now if I didn't go through that. And right now there's tens of millions of individuals in this country that lost the way of creating an income. And so don't look at this as a curse. If you take advantage of this opportunity and believe it to be an opportunity and do what I'm gonna talk about in today's video, you could change your life forever. So let's dig in. Before I talk about who this individual is, I want to talk about the wealth creation quadrant that we created, because this is going to make this person seem a little bit foolish, right? So the 4 things that create wealth, and pretty much every decamillionaire that I've ever met did it this exact way. The first one is they protected themselves and they created insurance for themselves with MSI, multiple streams of income. Now, why do you need multiple streams of income? Well, 1, it helps you make more money, but the real reason is you're protecting yourself against that future day that's coming. It's not if, but when the 1 income stream that you have goes away. A lot of people felt that pain this year in 2020 because of what we're dealing with all around the world. And if you had 1 income stream, you understand that's very risky. Now, at the end of this, take this as an opportunity when we talk about that and why, but you need multiple streams of income because this protects you in case you lose one. Now, equity is a second part of what you're gonna see pretty much every wealth creator have, because equity can grow, and it can grow extremely quickly without you trading your time to create that equity. Think about different ways equity are created. Let's say rental properties, right? You own a rental property, you own 15 rental properties, you own 30 rental properties. What's happening is you bought it hopefully with instant equity, so you bought equity today, but during that equity pay down process, tenants are paying your rent month after month after month, and equity's building as that note's paying down, but you're also getting the appreciation of the house long term, so you're getting equity spread in 2 different ways. Now, a lot of you guys know I'm a top 100 influencer at a company called eXp Realty, and look at what happened to our EXPI stock for a lot of individuals in our company. They spent years doing what they're doing, building up their stock awards. A lot of people independently invested in the company, and what happened when you saw this big jump, did you trade time to create that income? There's a lot of people in our company that own enough equity as far as shares in the company that became millionaires for doing what they're already doing, selling houses or building teams at our company. So that's one of the big reasons people are coming to the company. But equity can grow while you're not putting a lot of time into growing it. You put a lot of effort into creating it in the front side, you set it into place through a type of model that creates equity, and hopefully you see the explosion, right? Passive income. This is the one that I need you guys to start thinking about. It's not about how much money you make, it's about how you make the money. 2 people both make 100 grand a year. One makes it actively, one makes it residually, or through passive income. One's working all day long every day to create this income. The other one's sitting on the beach or coaching their kid's soccer team. So the other thing that I love about residual income is it does not have a cap. You can always layer it. You can always buy more properties. You can always increase this income stream, whereas active income has some strict caps to it. Eventually you run out of time, you run out of energy and resources, plus active income fluctuates. You see steady growth with passive income. It doesn't just, you sell 6 houses this month and sell 0 the next month. You have the same income usually coming in. Sometimes it dips a little bit, but you're gonna see a lot more consistent growth, and there's a lot lower cap risk on it, if that makes sense. You can usually just keep pushing it higher. Now, duplication is the last one I wanna talk about before we dig in to these other things on the board. This is the one I think a lot of people don't understand. I see a lot of you young guys not understanding this, and this is what I didn't understand early on, because I was this person. I had a 1 income stream, active only way of creating income. Now I was making a ton of money doing what I was doing before, which some of you guys know from my other videos what I did. I was a top online poker player, But I did everything on my own, and when I didn't trade time to create that income, I had no income coming in, and I had no way of duplicating myself outside myself. Duplication creates wealth, not you. You create duplication. So duplication right now, some of mine, is I have properties out there, rental properties, they're creating income for me. I have notes, they're creating income for me. I have videos, lots of videos on the internet that create income for me. I've almost 500 real estate agents in my organization creating income out there selling houses, right? So everything I do, I'm trying to think about how I do not need to be the one trading time to create that income, but how I can trade my time to create duplication, because duplication creates wealth combined with these other things. So I know that's a lot, guys, but I'm just trying to really impress upon you why most people struggle. They do it all on their own. They're a solopreneur and they're buying into this 4-hour work week stuff. It's just all crap, just to be honest. But you can see right here, if you have one income stream, it's very risky. If it goes away, you have no way to create income. And if you're only trading your time to create income, you're gonna hit a cap because you're gonna get burnt out, you're gonna run out of time. And if you're doing it all on your own, how can you scale, right? So this is where you need to start thinking how to become this person, a 9-to-5 earner, someone who's a sales agent who only sells real estate, someone who's flipping houses who's only flipping houses, someone who's running a business where it's based off them as far as sales and they're only doing this. Start thinking about how to transition from this person into this person. Now, how do you actually get ahead in life? This is where we're stuck at. With house payments, car payments, health insurance, all the things that are holding us down in life, how do we actually get ahead? So when you're working and trading time for money, this is what most people do. They don't have money to invest. They don't have money saved. They're trading their time to create money, or they're starting out at a young age, or they're starting over in life like a lot of you guys are right now. So first thing you need to start thinking is you have to trade time for money. I would go out there and trade every single hour that you can without completely destroying your health, to trade as much time as you can to whatever you're doing to create as much money as you can. Because this is where most people fail. They trade time for money, and then they spend that money because they're so stressed out from the time they trade to create that money that they go on vacations, they go to the mall, they keep up with the Joneses, they get a nicer car, and they never have any money. They just spend it on coffees and drinks, right? What wealthy people do is they trade their time for money, they make the sacrifice because that's the only way to create money. When you don't have money to create money, you have to trade time to create money. They trade their time to create money, they get some money, and then they use this money to invest to create more money and other income streams. So this right here, trade time to money, then trade money to money. If you grasp that and you understand it, and then you start working for passive income and understand duplication, these things up here, your future 3 to 5 years from now is going to be completely different than the one you're living right now. Don't trade time for money, get a little bit of money and go use that money to overcome your stress in life. Nobody cares what type of car you have. Nobody cares what type of clothes you have. This is all in your mind. A lot of times we're buying things to impress people that we don't like, or that we know don't even like us. So it's so stupid anyways, right? So trade your time as fast as you can to create as much money as you can, to invest that money to create money so you can get ahead. And then once you make a bunch of money, you have that money, that's your principal, that's your nut, right? You trade that money into assets. You put that into assets that create cash flow, and you can buy whatever you want with the cash flow. You never spend the original principal, you invest the principal, and you spend the cash flow. Now I would say invest the cash flow to create more cash flow, but once you get your cash flow, your residual income up, that's like the waves of the ocean. It comes in and in and in. You can spend it as fast as you want. You will never go out of business. Think about it, or you never run out of money. Think about how many athletes that made $5 million, $10 million. I flipped a lot of their houses, by the way. So a lot of these guys that you watch on the NFL, they're so this, right? Well, I flipped a lot of their houses. The reason why is they made millions of dollars. They spent the millions of dollars. Instead of what they should have done was make millions of dollars invested into assets that create 6-figure cash flows that they can spend as much as they want, because this is never going away. It just keeps kicking out money. So think about what I'm saying here, guys. It's very important. Trade time for money, then money for money. Put that into assets, and if you want to spend the cash flow, that's when you start buying these nice things for yourself, if you want watches and cars, etc. Now, why do you need 3 income streams? So as you guys know, you probably read all the self-development books saying the average multimillionaire has 7. Why is 3 important? Let's say 1. If you have 1, you're living a risky life. It's not if, but when it goes away. Now, what happens if you have 2? Because if it's easy to lose 1, if you have 2, what happens if this one goes away? You're right back to 1. So if you have 3, confusing myself, 3, right, and you lose 1, you still have 2, right? confused myself there, but I'm not refilming this. So you need at least three. Three that will cover your house payment, your car payment, your health insurance, your basic necessities for life. Because I promise you, once you have three basic income streams that will cover these guys, this is going to make your life so much easier. And the reason why you don't have three is because you're not trying to create three, you're only trying to create one. If you're trying to scale one and only one, that's all you're gonna do because that's where your focus is at. If you try to scale three or create three, you will create three. Set your goals on how many you want, but at least have three. Now, I wanna give you guys a special message. If you have learned something up until now that you think is gonna take you to a different trajectory in life, please guys subscribe to the channel. There's like 3/4 of you guys have been watching this channel for years, you're not subscribed. And I would appreciate it if you did so. Also hit that like button, guys, and on the future videos, hook me up, please. I'm trying to help you guys change your life. And right now, I really want to give you a message that could. So back in 2011, my life disappeared overnight. Not to go into that story too deep, but everything I ever worked for over a decade disappeared literally overnight. I woke up and it was gone. Is that a familiar story to some of you guys watching this right now? And what I did for 2 years is I wallowed around the world. I played poor me. I blamed anybody and everybody that I could. I blamed the politicians. I blamed the sites that I worked on. I blamed my family. I blamed God. I blamed, the cat running outside. Everybody, it was their problem, but mine. But the reason why I fell so hard and got into debt so much is because I didn't do these things before. If I had made that money and not spent it on diamond jewelry, I used to wear like $10,000 worth of diamond jewelry, guys, because I thought it was cool when I was in my early 20s. It made me become broke. It was not cool. Cool is being able to have what you want later in life, not having something that you can't afford early on in life to impress people that you don't like anyways, right? So if I had taken all that money, think of like an athlete, and I invested into houses that created cash flow, when I lost that income stream that created all that income, I would have been okay. I would have never had to work again. So these things I'm telling you right now are lessons that would have changed my life earlier that I had to learn the hard way. I don't want you to learn these. I want you to start doing these now. Okay. So what happened to me was I lost everything, and instead of getting up off my feet, I watched my net worth just drop. I was living off the expenses, and before I knew it, I went into debt, and I basically jumped into real estate. That's partly how I went into debt, as I was transitioning into real estate, as I was basically going from a little bit positive to negative, as some of you guys know my story. Before I knew it, spending money on marketing, bandit signs, postcards, I was tens of thousands, and I went almost $100,000 in debt. Now, that being said, the things I learned on the way making these mistakes, which was all this, was very expensive, which I'm giving you a free video if you can understand how powerful this is, that you don't have to go into debt like I did. But these are the things that changed my life. And as I started implementing these things, I started wholesaling houses here in Dallas, and I started flipping houses, and taking that money and putting into rental properties in order to finance notes. Then I started hiring people, duplication, equity through owning real estate, and multiple streams. And then I started building this YouTube channel. I started building other income streams off of it, and I started building a real estate team. And so all this is kind of how it came together. I was this individual, had a great income stream, lost it all, had to start over, played poor me down here for too long. Why I'm saying that is because, guys, right now, a lot of you were this person, and you just lost this, just like I did. And I thought that was the worst thing that ever happened. I was cursing the world, right? It was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it allowed me to go from this person with a frown on their face to this person with money and the lifestyle that I want, right? So if you were this person and you were trapped in something like a job or doing something that you were never gonna change your path for a long time, and this is a blow that you took right now, shift your thought process, believe this is an opportunity, transition to becoming this and not that. And I promise you, if you put enough time and believe in yourself enough and go do it, in 3 to 5 years, your life is gonna change forever. So that's basically the video that I would have wanted to see myself if I had watched the video at that hard time right here when I hit rock bottom, because those are all the things that took me a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort to understand, and what changed my life. And I want you guys to do this right now. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope this kind of cleared up some stuff for you guys in your mind so you can focus like a laser on where you're going forward. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good night.